Today on Rappler. President Marcos tells the audience at a rally in Laguna, support 11 Alyansa senatorial candidates. Families of drug war victims may pursue legal action against disinformation peddlers. Newly minted Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney calls for a snap election. After 5 weeks in the hospital, Pope Francis returns to the Vatican. And Filipino tennis sensation Alex Eala upsets world number 5 Madison Keys in the Miami Open. President Ferdinand Marcos tells a crowd in an Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas rally in Laguna, support 11 candidates in his slate. Alyansa fielded a full slate of 12 candidates, with Marcos' sister Imee as the 12th senator.
Magkaisa po tayo sa ating alyansa. At huwag natin gawing alyansa lamang nitong 11 na tao, 11 na kandidato na tumatakbo bilang senador na kasama sa alyansa. Samahan niyo po kami. Samahan niyo po kami at magka-alyansa rin tayo.
When asked about the possible plans to drop Imee Marcos from the Alyansa slate, campaign manager Toby Tiangco says,
I cannot answer that question for them, no? So, I think, like for Imee, siguro siya dapat ang makasagot nung tanong na yon, hindi po kami.
This is the third straight time that Imee Marcos skipped an Alyansa rally. She cited supposed flaws in the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte during a Senate hearing that she initiated. Human rights lawyer Cristina Conti says families of drug war victims are looking at pursuing legal cases against the most vile content posted online. Conti says some photos of the victims are being altered online. Duterte supporters have labeled them as, quote, fake victims after the arrest and detention of former President Rodrigo Duterte in The Hague. Online threats have escalated and families now worry about being recognized in public. Amid the attack, social media platforms have reached out to the victims' families and expressed concern. Conti says, quote, we're thankful that Meta has reached out, and on their part, they will also look into the community standards and whatever they could do on their end. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney calls for a snap election on April 28, saying he needs a strong mandate to deal with the threat posed by United States President Donald Trump. Relations between the two North American nations have soured since Trump imposed tariffs and threatened to annex Canada. Although the next election was not due until October 20, Carney is hoping to capitalize on his party's recovery in the polls as public concern over Trump's actions shifted the election focus towards leadership rather than change. Carney says, quote, President Trump claims that Canada isn't a real country. He wants to break us so America can own us. We will not let that happen. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Carney's remarks. Carney, a former two-time central banker with no previous political or election campaign experience, captured the Liberal leadership on March 14 by persuading party members he was the best person to tackle Trump. Pope Francis returns to the Vatican after spending 5 weeks battling double pneumonia that became the most serious health crisis of his 12-year papacy. The 88-year-old pontiff made his first public appearance on Sunday before being discharged from Rome's Gemelli Hospital. The Pope, who has been receiving oxygen throughout his hospital stay, was breathing on his own during the appearance. The car that brought the Pope to the Vatican took a detour to take flowers to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, a church to which Francis has a special devotion and visits frequently. Doctors say it would still take a lot of time for his aging body to heal fully. They prescribed 2 more months of rest and told him to avoid large or stressful meetings. Alex Eala claimed her biggest win as she defeated world number 5 and reigning Australian Open queen Madison Keys 6-4, 6-2 to reach the round of 16 of the Miami Open on Sunday, March 23. The 19-year-old Filipino player went up to a 4-2 lead to start the match, but Keys fought back, winning the next 2 games to tie the score. Eala regained the advantage in the following game, then broke Keys' serve to win the first set as Keys made several mistakes at crucial points. Eala maintained her momentum, breaking Keys in the 6th and 8th games of the second set to win the match. The win marks Eala's first victory over a top 10 player. The Women's Tennis Association says Eala is the first Filipina in the Open era to defeat a top 10 opponent since the ranking system started in 1975. Eala previously won over world number 25 and 2017 French Open champion Jelena Ostapenko, sparking her remarkable surge against the top players. And that's today's wrap. I'm Kara Oliver. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.